when you give your love to another, it doesn't take any sacrifice. Oh, father and mother, sister and brother, if it feels nice, don't think twice. Just shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Do as I say and shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. You can run, but you cannot hide. This is widely known. So tell me what you plan to do with your foolish pride when you're all by yourself alone. Once you tell somebody the way that you feel, you can feel it beginning to ease. You see, it's true what they say about the squeaky wheel, always getting a grease. Better to shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. What I'd like to do to you now, shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Let it rain, let it rain, let it love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity Center of Walnut Creek. And we are the 360s. We remind you that if you would like to sing along with us on our next congregational song, if you would please put your masks on for the interests of the others around you. And do sing along, because this is a fun song by my dear friend Bruce Bly, who used to be music director here. It is called Calling Forth the Light. 1, a 2, a 1, 2. We are calling forth the light. We are calling forth the light of God. We are
shines in me.
It shines right now.
It shines right now for eternity.
Joy. We are
Calling forth the joy.
We are
Calling forth the joy of God.
We are
Calling forth the joy.
It shines in you.
It shines in you.
It shines in me.
It shines in me.
It shines right now.
It shines right now for eternity.
We are
Calling forth the peace.
We are
Calling forth the peace of God.
We are
Calling forth the peace.
It shines in you.
It shines in you.
It shines in me.
It shines in me.
It shines right now.
It shines right now in eternity.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
It shines in you.
It shines in you.
It shines in me.
It shines in me.
It shines right now.
It shines right now in eternity.
We are
Calling forth the light.
We are
Calling forth the light of God.
We are
Calling forth the light.
It shines in you.
It shines in you.
It shines in me.
It shines in me.
It shines right now.
It shines right now for eternity.
Oh, I love the 11:30 service.
Yeah, we do. Good morning. Welcome to Welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. My name is Casey. My name is Casey. Good morning.
Good morning, and my name's Brindley. Welcome to our service. Wow, okay. What's going on out there? Please join us in turning to the camera and waving to our folks at home. Your presence adds to our spiritual community. Thank you for joining us.
Please
And come
join
on down.
Me. Yeah, come on. Please join me in welcoming our guest musician, the fabulous 360. Woo! John Shinn, Christopher Johnson, Dwayne Campbell, joined by Larry on drums. Hey, Larry. Woo! Thank you for sharing your music with us today.
Reverend Kristin will deliver today's message, and today's message is the third in the Eye of the Storm series. Today's message is Healing Separation.
Before we begin, I invite you to turn your phones to silent as we enjoy the sacred service together.
Let us take a moment to be grateful for the land our center rests upon. This is Ohlone, Baymiwat, and Yukat's land.
We honor its ancestry and are grateful for those who came before us. We commit to taking care of these sacred grounds and Mother Earth.
Unity is a positive path for spiritual living, and our vision for the world is, we envision a spiritually awakened world where all life thrives in conscious oneness.
Our mission is who we have come here to be. Let's say this together. We are a living, inclusive community, expanding and living our divinity in sacred service for all. Our core values are love, connection, service, and wisdom.
If you are with us for the first time and you feel comfortable, please raise your hand so that we may acknowledge you. Welcome, welcome. We're glad to have you with us. Oh, please visit our bookstore across the patio after our service to receive a welcome packet and a gift. If you need help in receiving this, please let an usher know. We hope you'll choose to stay after and meet some of us on the patio.
Connection cards are available in the newcomer welcome packets and in the seat pockets in front of you. These are for everyone. With this card, you may submit a prayer request, and our prayer team will pray with you throughout the week.
You may also share feedback and request information. Please place the card in the offering basket as it comes around. And for those of you viewing online, connection cards are available on the Watch Live page of our website.
Please consider comfort levels. If hugging one another before and after service, we welcome you to socialize on the patio after or visit our bookstore. I hope that was okay.
All right. This is left over from the carnival last night, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of giddy energy. All right. Our campus is open for on-site classes and groups. Masking is optional, although we recommend masking indoors, and it is important to mask while singing. And we have several activities to highlight this week.
Halloween is a week from tomorrow. Woo! Feel free to celebrate by wearing a costume next Sunday's service and stay afterwards for coffee and refreshments on the patio. Yum!
It's voting season for the nation and for Unity of Walnut Creek. Mark your calendar for our annual meeting, Sunday, November 6th. Enjoy lunch after the service in the community room or on the lawn before heading to the sanctuary for this important meeting at 1:30 p.m. Vote for new board members, review the 2023 budget, and celebrate our accomplishments for this year. Members and non-members are welcome.
You're invited to join your Unity family for Thanksgiving potluck on November 24th at 12 p.m. All are welcome to give thanks, enjoy a delicious meal, and share great conversation. Please sign up on the patio to bring a carved turkey, side dish, or dessert to share it and to volunteer during the event. For those of you online, please sign up by sending an email to office@unityofwalnutcreek.org.
And also for you vegetarians, bring a tofurkey.
Okay.
And now I'd like to invite Holly Million to the platform to share about her new workshop.
Hi, I'm getting to know everybody here. It's so great to be back. I was here last week, and I'll be here again next week for the Sacred Crystals workshop. And if you were here last week, you saw I brought 2 crystals. If you were here, I brought quartz and I brought hematite. And at this workshop, we're going to meet 35 different crystals. So I brought 2 more today. I'm wondering if anybody knows what this is. Rose quartz, good. These are experts here. All right. Even the band is getting into it over there. Okay. All right. Wow. I knew this was the right place. There's a lot of crystal lovers. Well, this one's a little harder. Let's see if anybody can guess. What's this? What kind of jasper? It's ocean jasper. Ocean jasper. So these are just some of the 35 crystals that I'll be bringing to the workshop. You're going to meet all of them. You're going to touch all of them. We're going to learn how to use them to bless and protect our homes and how to work with them, how to clear them, how to keep them working well. So I hope you will all sign up. This is a love offering workshop. It's next week, a week from today, 2 to 4 p.m. We're going to have a lot of fun. I know this one's going to fill up. So sign up in the library, in the bookshop, or online. And I'll see you next week.
I guess it's just me now.
Oh, sorry. Please see our website for full listing, registration, and login information for all of our events. You can also pick up flyers and register for events in our bookstore. You can also pick up a list of this week's events on the patio.
Okay, now you can go. As we prepare for a time of meditation, please join me in taking a conscious breath and affirming our statement of faith together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. We begin with music, followed by guided meditation and silence.
I can hear you calling me. I can feel you drawing me. Here now in this quiet space, bathed within your golden grace, everything's perfect place. I can hear you calling Even in this quiet space, bathed within your golden grace, everything's in perfect place. Now in this quiet space, bathed within your golden grace, everything's in perfect place.
Allowing ourselves to rest in this place inside of us we call home. Having heard the call, we answer. Letting the call of the divine resonate in our hearts, reverberate throughout our bodies, we receive. allowing that presence and power be drawn deeply into our hearts. The silence. Having heard the call of Spirit, having felt the energy pull us, we go home, home to the heart of our being, home to the place where we know wholeness and oneness and truth. And here we stay, here we rest, even in the midst of our activities. We are home. Should we ever drift, we listen and feel into the call once again and come home. And so it is.
We have a vision of oneness to share with you. It's called With Every Drop. I see smiling faces now in every corner of the world. A joyous understanding showering down upon us all. From this day on, our horrors just aren't needed anymore. Poverty and war and hate are things that were before. Trumpets sound and people sing, embrace each other as they bring the news that all our difference gone. We found the truth, we're one. With every drop of rain that falls, rain peace. Every newborn baby's called by peace. Every heartbeat out with care. Let every voice vibrate the air. With every thought, one solemn prayer for peace. Every heartbeat out with care. Let every voice vibrate the air. With every thought, one solemn prayer for peace. So good to know it's over now. Giving up the fight. Know that this serenity is all that's truly right. All our efforts meant to aid the ones the most in need. Water for the thirsty made, the hungry we all feed. Trumpets sound and people sing, embrace each other as they bring the news that all our difference gone. We found the truth, we're one. With every drop of rain that falls, rain peace. Every newborn baby's called cry peace. Every heartbeat out with care. Let every voice vibrate the air. With every thought, one solemn prayer for peace. Every heartbeat out with care. Let every voice vibrate the air. With every thought, one solemn prayer for peace.
It is so wonderful to have the 360s, John Shinn back. Yeah. And I just want to thank you all for all that you did through COVID in providing concerts in the park twice a week, all that time. Lots of Unity folks that couldn't gather here were able to gather there. So it was a beautiful thing. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Pleasure. It's good to,
Welcome to, oh, go ahead, please.
it's great to be back with you all.
And hello, everyone online. Thank you for joining us this morning. For those in the room or those online, if you helped make Carnival happen last night as a volunteer, as somebody who financially contributed, please stand and let us love on you. Yes. And those of you resting at home, including our leader, Susan Angelos, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. I hear there was somebody with a rainbow wig and a tutu running around masquerading as me last night. She even had the gall to get up and do the opening prayer. I don't know, but anyway, a lot of fun was had. You know, when we do these, we call them fun and fundraisers, and we did both really well. So yay us. So as we come back into or continue on in our series, if you're just joining us, we are in the eye of the storm. Did you know that? We are in the eye of the storm. So we're using the book called The Eye of the Storm by Gary Simmons, and we've got some fall study groups going. I think we still have some books in the bookstore, and he has some nice exercises. Three books left. Ann knows the exact count as our co-bookstore manager. So thank you, Ann. Yeah, so there's ways that you can still get engaged and maybe even join Mike's group. I don't know, he seems open to more, yes? Tuesdays at 2, right here. So anyway, there are lots of ways to plug in, and you're here for one of them this morning, so let's get on with it. We are talking about the 4 winds of conflict, and these are conditions that support conflict, and then healing those. And today is really the big one. This is, to me, the biggest wind of all. The biggest wind of all winds that gets us off track, and that is, and into the storm, and that is the wind of separation. So the next 4 weeks we'll look at what the wind is and then what its antidote is to come into the eye of the storm. And so today we begin with separation and the process of healing separation. So in about 25 minutes we're going to heal separation. Might as well just affirm it, right? Yeah, right. Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore said that developing a separation consciousness creates a problem we don't know how to deal with. Let's look specifically at what she says. Spirit is all. Where would you draw the line between spirit and the material when there is no evidence that God has placed such boundaries? We see spirit manifesting in the flesh, in the centers of consciousness, and in the organs of the body as expressions of energy and substance. If we make a separation in our consciousness, we shall have something that we do not know how to deal with. And yet, as humans, we have done exactly that. And we got a whole bunch of stuff that we look around and go, I don't know how we're going to deal with this. Anybody relate to that? Yeah, right? Right, anybody not relate to that? Exactly. So it is that when we create this, that the conflicts come, right? The things come because we have created this belief system of that we could possibly be separate. And we don't know how to deal with it because it's not our nature. We are a part of the indivisibility of spirit that is always connected. We are always connected to it. So in truth, it's not possible. So we have created something out of the realm of truth that seems like reality. And it's happened over many, since the beginning of humanity, really. So when humans, our human ancestors came into this world, and for many generations after, I think because we are spiritual beings coming into a physical experience, it's a pretty big switch. And when we come into this world, we're enamored, right? If you think about an infant that suddenly discovers its hand, it's just like, whoa, I mean, that is hours of entertainment. Or a foot and all those little toes, sweet little tender feet. And then they discover that they're attached. It's like, wow, this is pretty cool, right? So we have this sort of reverie and enamored. We must be completely enamored with the world as it begins to come into focus. And we're really challenged. I mean, we're spiritual beings. We didn't have to worry about food and water and shelter and clothing. And suddenly, bam, here we are. And we got to figure it all out. So you imagine that we're pretty caught up in both being enamored with our physicality and challenged by our physicality. It's pretty easy to quickly forget where we've come from and who we are. And that then becomes the thing that we pass down generation after generation. A toddler was known once, this story goes, that you might have heard before, that there was a toddler whose infant young sibling came home. And the toddler kept asking the parents, about 2 years old, if they could have time alone with the infant. And of course, the parents were very nervous about this. What does the toddler want to do? And I'm not sure they can pick the baby up and so on. And so they kept trying to divert the toddler, and the toddler was insistent and kept bringing this up day after day. So finally they decided, okay, yes, you can have time alone with the baby. And so they put the baby in a crib, and they had the toddler go in the room. They left the door open, and they stood just outside the door. And immediately the toddler toddles up to the crib, as they do, and says, "Tell me about God. I'm starting to forget." And that's what happens, isn't it? We forgot where we came from. We forgot what we're made of. We forgot that we come from the birthplace of stars, that we're actually made of stardust. That's not a fantasy. Science backs that up. That we are we are this light, this bright light. We are this shiny light. We are this warm and everlasting love, that we come from, literally from heaven, from the heavens, from the celestial beginning of birth, of time, of us, all of it together. So when we think about those things, it's sort of mind-blowing, right? I think that little emoji with the mind-blowing suddenly is in my mind. But it's wow, yes, that's right. This is where we came from. This is what we're made of. And we have just simply forgotten. So when we forget, it's hard for us then to pass on to our children, and for us as children to receive somebody mirroring our divinity to us, because they don't remember enough of it. And so we get sort of little bits and pieces of it, but we don't get the wholeness of it, so that we don't get the wholeness of us. And so it begins this ongoing process where we have caregivers and parents who can't be fully present for us, who aren't fully alive, who aren't fully in the moment, who aren't fully aware of who they are. So of course we learn from them, and so it goes generation after generation after generation. And so there's pain in that. And so what do we do to address the pain? Well, we create a bunch of ways that separation looks, right? We learn or feel that it's not safe to get close. It's not safe to be vulnerable. It's not safe to be totally innocent. So we've got to find a way to manage that, to move around that. And so in so doing, we create a bunch of stuff out of separation. This idea that we are separate from our experiences, we are separate from each other, we are separate from ourselves. And if we just can hold things a little bit at bay, we'll be okay. And it'll make our world a little bit easier just to kind of move around it like this, instead of just whole. And so that's kind of what we're all doing, is sort of just bumping up against each other, right? And moving around. And we're doing the best we can. Not really, but we think we are. And then we wake up and we start doing the best we can. So we are doing the best we can with what we've been given, but now we're given more. And as we return to those truths and the remembrance of those truths, then we have what we need to go, oh, right, now I'm starting to remember. Now I'm starting to wake up to who, now it's making sense, right? When we come into truth, doesn't it just suddenly go, oh, right, that's what home feels like. It feels good to be in this place. It feels good to be at peace. It feels good to be in a place where I know that ultimately all is well, where I know who I am and I know who you are. And if we can just settle into those moments and be there for a moment, we let it really seep into the cells of our being. And every time we have that experience, more and more of the memory of who we are comes back. And then we embody it more and more and more. And it feels right. This way of being does not feel right, but we don't know what else to really do. So we just keep moving around like that. I don't know where I got this, but I'm liking it. It feels right. It doesn't feel right, but it feels habitual. You know, it feels like, oh, this is the habit. Yeah, I got that. I got the muscle memory for that. I get that. And this feels like, oh, but this is it. You know, so it's that dropping in, it's that knowing, it's that remembrance. So what do we do out of separation consciousness? We avoid conflicts, we create conflicts, we do all kinds of things to be in this I'm okay space, I'm in this safe place. And one of the things that Gary talks about is the codependence that we create then in order to feel safe and okay, and he calls it the depend dance. And in the depend dance, we put the burden of our well-being and our worth on the people around us. Oh, some truth is buzzing through. Tyler's going to fix it. Thank you, Tyler. Oh, Mason fixed it. Thank you, Mason. We always look to the sound booth when something strange happens. But we thank you guys all the time for making it all work so smoothly, 99.9% of the time. Yeah, give them a round of applause. So do any of these ways work for us, all these things, these antics? How's it going for you, in other words, We ask that, how's that working out for you, that separation thing that we do in all the different ways that we do it, separated from ourselves, separated from each other, separated from our life experiences even. When we are connected to our wholeness, we misread the signals and assume people and life situations are against us. Remember in the first of the series, we talked about that. Nothing and no one is really against us, cannot be against us. But in separation consciousness, it seems like everything is, right? It can get that chaotic. So believing and acting from separation consciousness then supports our conflicts with others and keeps us at arm's length from our innate divinity. And when we do that, it keeps us at arm's length from the divine flow of life, from the ease of life happening through us and as us. We don't know how to deal with it, as Myrtle says, because it's not based on truth. Separation is a fabricated reality. She says spirit is all. That means spirit is all, right? That's the truth. That's the truth that we come back into. We can't draw a line between the spiritual and the material, between the flesh and consciousness. So the only way to heal this faulty, illusionary idea of consciousness that we've created is to stop it and move back to center. Get out of the storm and into the eye of the storm. In the eye of the storm, we can see. In the eye of the storm, we are calm. In the eye of the storm, we go, right, this is the way it works. This is who I am. This is how I can recalibrate and shift and then express from a place of wholeness, from a place of oneness, rather than a place of separation. The only difference between masters like Jesus, spiritual masters or spiritual teachers like Jesus and the other spiritual masters out there, is that they just didn't forget. They just remembered. They've remembered. I mean, maybe occasionally, because they're also embodied human being, occasionally they might forget, but get right back in, right? There's a constant memory of who they are. And we too can do this. Because the more we remember, the more we recognize that other stuff doesn't work for us, the more we live and dwell in this place. And pretty soon, we don't forget anymore. Or if we do, it's a momentary lapse and we're right back into truth. And so it's that knowing, when Jesus was in the storm, what did he say? Peace, be still. And then the rest of that is often, and know that I am. And that's what happens for us. When you get caught up in the storms, when you're out there reading a lot of the news, or you're in your own personal dramas, and you're in the midst of that storm, you can just go, peace, be still, and know that I am. And everything shifts from there. And everything can shift for the other person too, because they are in the presence of truth. And in the presence of truth, we all resonate with truth because we all want to be there. Whether we're conscious of it or not, we all want to be there. We all want peace and joy and love and ease and grace in our lives. None of us want chaos and difficulty and challenge and anger and being in the storms of that kind of stuff that goes on in our world. And we can notice it for ourselves, just get more and more clear while we're in the midst of storms around us, noticing, where am I? Where am I in this? How do I feel? What's going on inside of me? What stories am I telling? Even while, I often read the news on my phone, and so I'll get partway through an article, and then I'll just check in. And even though the journalist has hooked me in, I'll notice, how I'm feeling. Oh, this doesn't feel very good. I know enough now about this story, and move on, right? So if we can really take, we want to be informed, but take an approach to it where it's almost like, okay, I'm in the bubble of divine light now, I'm entering the news cycle. Right? So I have protected myself with a bubble of light because I want to be informed. But then just noticing, really noticing, allow yourself to keep your center while you are paying attention to what's happening. That way we don't get sucked into more separation consciousness, because that is what we are being spoon-fed. Here, have some separation, have some division, have some chaos. And we all go, oh, okay, we'll take that in all day, and then I'm, feeling like this, and I don't know why. It's because we need to take in this, the truth, the remembrance, the divinity, by praying, by taking time out of our day, by meditating, and it doesn't have to be a big deal. I know some of us go, oh, I'm so busy, I never get to that. So just take a moment. In the moment, just go, oh, I just remembered I haven't been meditating lately. Don't have a big story about beating yourself up about it. Okay, I'm going to meditate right now. Wow, that felt good. And then you move about your day. That's it. It can be that simple. And really, I think it might be just as effective because it's moment by moment by moment through your day. So you're staying conscious. You're staying aware. Oh, I'm getting sucked into separation consciousness again. And let me instead move to truth, to oneness, to wholeness, to everything that I am and have come here to be. There are some healthy ways to work with separation. Actually, one way is for us to separate out our thoughts and feelings from our being. And so the thing is about thoughts and feelings, particularly feelings, feelings can arise out of thoughts, and then they can, thoughts get attached, and they kind of do this dance together, right? It's like the chicken and the egg, what came first? Doesn't really matter. They work together. So when we notice that something is arising, we can just do it like that. It's just arising, right? Oh, anger is arising. Let me ride the wave of anger. You know how long scientists say an emotion lasts? 90 seconds. So let's just ride the wave. So that's what's present. Anger is present. Okay, I'm going to ride the wave of anger. Feel everything that's in there and just let myself be fully in it, right? For 90 minutes. It's just like my top is seconds, not 90 minutes. Thank you. You're paying attention. This is good. Not 90 minutes, no, 90 seconds, yeah. Because what happens instead, right, is the emotion starts, and we're 2 seconds in, and a story starts. And then, and then we blow that up a little bit more, and then another, So instead, if we're paying attention, it's just like, oh, there's the rising and falling of anger. How cool, I get to experience that. And in 90 seconds, it's over. And that's it, done. And then we move on with our day. So it can be that easy. It can be that simple, and it can become easy as we practice, and easier still. So letting ourselves separate out that the feelings and the thoughts, they're things that move through us, they aren't us. So we're going to separate our beingness from what is falling and rising, falling and rising. And that can be very helpful to us. Another thing that can be very helpful is just taking all the little pieces and parts that we've cast out throughout the day, all the places we've gone today, all the people we've talked to, all the things that we've been involved in. And at the end of our day, we can remember, recalibrate all those things, bring all the little pieces of us that have been scattered around back home. So Alexandra D'Avalon led us through a meditation. She was trained at the Chopra Institute, and when we came together for the women's retreat recently, she led us through a meditation, and she talked about this technique for sleeping. So if you have any issues with sleeping, she says, from what she learned, try this, that you take a moment as you're lying down and you're ready to go to sleep, and you start with the beginning of your day. Oh, that's right. Okay, so I got up and I went and did this, and you're starting to remember pieces of yourself, right? And then I went out and I went here and I drove there and I walked there, and then you bring that back, right? As you remember it, you're recalling it home, and you're bringing yourself back together, and it relaxes you so much you go to sleep. It's really cool. So that's these kinds of simple techniques, ways we can recognize that there is maybe some scattering of ourselves. The divine says in Matthew, whoever does not gather with me scatters. And so if we keep scattering our energy through our experiences, through our interactions, through our not remembering who we are, and we're all over the place, it's a gathering back, right? Whoever does not gather with me scatters. As we regather, as we return, as we commune with Spirit, we come back and we then don't feel so scattered, so fragmented anymore. Communion is the eye of the storms. It is the eye of the storm of separation. So separation's going on all around in the storm, and there we go in the center, and we're in communion. Communion with Spirit, communion with truth, communion with each other. And how do we do that? All the different ways that we know to do. Meditation, prayer, movement, time in nature. Whatever it is for you that brings you back to center, do more of that. I am one, I am whole. That's what we know when we are in that place. I cannot be separated. I cannot be separated from life. That's what we know when we're in that place. I cannot be separated from humanity. It's not possible when we're in that place, because it all rings true. And then we get in there and we're in that sweet spot and we're in this blissful place, and something happens and we forget, right? It just happens. And then suddenly we start to think, well, something's missing. And then this is where we really make the mistake. We start looking out there. Well, if only I can attract the right person into my life to be in relationship, then I will feel whole. Well, if only I can find the right and perfect job, then I will feel whole. The right and perfect home, you name it, right? If I could only go on the perfect vacation, everything will be just right once again. And while all those things in our lives are part of our human experience and they are beautiful companions to the journey, it's the mistake we made of thinking something is missing in here and I must fill it by grabbing something out here. But it's here, inside here, that we do that work, and then whatever we attract in our lives is a great joy. that doesn't have to complete us because we know we are already complete. So we are whole beings then moving around, attracting other whole beings, other whole experiences, other experiences that are going to keep giving us more of the truth. And then pretty soon we have in our lives the kinds of mirrors of our divinity that we always longed for as children. And then we become it as adults. And we change the whole trajectory of humanity because we start mirroring divinity to the people around us and to the next generation. And then they grow up knowing their worth, knowing their wholeness, knowing their oneness, and we change the entire world. That's it. That's what we're up to. That's what we're about. It's big stuff. It really is big stuff, you know? I mean, do you really recognize that? Like when we say we are co-creating with Spirit, our third principle, when we talk about the law of attraction and co-creating, if you really like get that for a minute, what we're doing, it's like, whoa, really? Gary says, being connected to life, to others, and yourself means embracing each moment as if life depended on it. And it does. Life with a capital L depends on it. It depends how you respond to the person who just said something nasty to you. It depends. Life itself depends on how you choose to move through your day, what you choose to say, how you choose to show up. Life, we are co-creating life in that moment. We have the opportunity to say, yes, God, I remember who I am. I'm going to be that truth. Or we can go, no, I'm going to create a bunch more of that stuff that's out in the world. Thank you, God. Might have been hearing about that for a while. You know, it's a lot like I got to participate in something called a Dream Star Council, where in the early morning of the retreat, we all got together and we literally laid so that our heads were together in the middle, so we were creating a star, and we just spoke out loud our dreams. And so everybody's dreams, it was so amazing because the dreams started weaving together like they were one dream. And that's how we are living. That's what we've created as a humanity. We all put our heads together and we created a dream of separation because we didn't know how to do it differently, but now we do. And so we can put our heads together and we can create a different dream. It's so good. You know, what we can create. Children could grow up knowing their own worth from the get-go. From the beginning. They wouldn't have to go begging from other infants to tell me about it because these folks don't know. Because we would know, and so they will know. And all that pain can be avoided, and all that suffering could be avoided because we know now who we are, and we can teach the next generation. And the next generation, and the next generation. When we put our heads together and we recreate a dream, that dream is a dream that feeds everybody's truth. Jesus describes this coming home to truth in us, this coming home into oneness consciousness as the kingdom of heaven. And he tells it in parables. He says that the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure that's hidden out in a field. And when a man finds it, he quickly hides it again. And in his joy, he goes home, he sells everything, and he goes back and buys that field. And then, just in case you're not a gardener, he tells another one for the shoppers among us. And he says, again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant who's looking for fine pearls. And when he finds the one of greatest value, he sells everything else so he can buy that one precious pearl. When we come into the truth, that's what it's like. We come home to oneness. We come home to wholeness. And we say, I've arrived in the kingdom of heaven. Get rid of everything else. Everything else that I've ever learned that is about separation and chaos and conflict and criticism and blame and all that stuff. Just cut it away, give it away, sell it. Because now I have the pearl. Now I know the truth. Now I remember who I am. Now I know, and I can put my head together with a bunch of other humans, maybe 7-point-some billion of them, and create a different dream. Because I am a co-creator of life. This is what we're up to. Are you ready for it? Are we in? All right, let's do it. Let's commune with the divine so we can once and for all heal separation consciousness, stop manifesting from that place, and know the truth that we are whole and we are one. Let's say it together. Through communion with the divine, I heal separation consciousness and stop unwanted manifestations. I am whole, I am one. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristin, for that powerful talk on connection and the divine. Our prayer chaplains are available after this service to provide personal prayer support. If you're a prayer chaplain serving today, please stand. Prayer chaplains wear the lavender stoles.
Whether you have a joy or concern in your heart today, praying with our prayer chaplains is a powerful opportunity to have your intentions raised up in consciousness.
Now let's open our hearts to the practice of giving. I invite you to prepare your gift as we align with the universal law of circulation. As we give, we shall receive. In truth, there is no lack or limitation. Abundance is our true nature.
For your convenience, there are a variety of ways to financially give to this community. In addition to checks and cash, you may download the Give app or scan the QR code on the back of the yellow card that is in the back of each chair, or set up bill pay through your bank.
For those of you at home, you may click the donate button on our Watch Live page.
Thank you.
I invite you to take a tithe or offering in your hand. Repeat our affirmation with me together. Divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful.
There's a season
do the Pete Seeger big perky. Oh, Spirit, we are so filled with gifts today that we bring forth in the spirit of having returned home, remembered who we are, and going out into the world to recreate, to co-create a new dream. And so we give thanks for these gifts, this abundance that is here, that is multiplied before our very eyes, because we can indeed manifest in an instant, because we are in alignment with abundance. And so we thank you, Spirit, for the manifestation, for the multiplication of what is here now, feeding, flowing, and fulfilling us in every way. Let's say it together. We give thanks for the ever-increasing, constant flow of absolute good in our lives now. So it is. All right, let's bring the children in.
Walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
Oh, here it comes.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Great to see you. We had fun last night, huh? Yeah. So I have Maddie and Millie with me today, and we also had Elijah, but he's a little shy to come up on stage, and we understand that, right? But we were talking about positive affirmations today, and sometimes when we have a negative thought, it can be an opportunity to change it into a positive thought. And do you guys remember making these fortune tellers when you were a kid? Do you remember these? So this is the Unity style fortune teller, because they're full of affirmations. So we're going to show you how it works, okay? All right, so Millie, you want to do it for Maddie? So Maddie, you want to pick one? No, you do your, there you go. Okay, so pick one. Sun. Okay, sunshine. Okay, and now she picks a number. What number?
8.
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. What's it say? Which one is it? This one?
This one.
Okay.
I use my words to sort out my problems.
I use my words to sort out my problems. Yes, clear, kind, direct communication, right? We can do that. That's a good one. So, and they're full of more. So if you want your affirmation told, your fortune told later, find the girls and they'll give you a reading. Thank you.
Oh, you're going to be busy. All right, let's bless Michelle, Maddie, and Millie. Madeline and Amelia. They're going by their full names now, too. Together, children, youth, and teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you. And we are blessing you too, Elijah, wherever you are. Oh, there he is. All right. He was sitting at my table last night. Or that table of that lady with the tutu on. Yeah, whoever that was. Let's close out with our prayer of protection, followed by the peace song. You can follow the sign language along with Susan. And when we get to the peace song to sing, please wear a mask if you're going to sing. Thank you. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let
the love and the wholeness and the oneness on earth right now. So let your light shine, have fun, and spread joy.
1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.